Do you ever see what's going on in the news and then think to yourself, like, this can't be real. They're fucking with me. It seems that I have that thought almost every single day now. I don't know if you've seen this. There's audio tapes now that have been released from back during the campaign with Trump at an event with donors. And he was speaking, and he says, he told the assembled donors that he threatened Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping of China, threatened that he would bomb the shit out of them. Let me read a little of this to you. And then the part about this, because that's actually not so hard for me to believe that he would say that. Now, I don't believe that he actually said that to Putin and Xi Jinping, but I can believe that he told the donors that he said that. But when I read this, there was a line in there that Trump said that I was just, are you fucking kidding me? It's that line where I'm like, okay, this, am I living in a simulation or something? I'm like, what the hell is going on? This can't be reality. Anyway, let me read a little of this to you. President Donald Trump privately bragged to campaign donors last year that he made a bold threat to Russian President Vladimir Putin's face over the Ukraine war. This according to new bombshell audio. A series of audio tapes from fundraisers for then-candidate Trump in New York and Florida last year were obtained by Josh Dawsey, Tyler Pager, and Isaac Arnsdorf, authors of the new book 2024, How Trump Retook the White House and the Democrats Lost America. The tapes were aired Tuesday night by CNN. Now, here is what Trump is quoted as having said in those audio tapes to the donors. He said, quote, "With Putin, I said, if you go into Ukraine, I'm gonna bomb the shit out of Moscow. I'm telling you, I have no choice." Right? That's what he says. That's what he told the donors in a private gathering. That's what he told the donors that he told Putin. If you go into Ukraine, I'm gonna bomb the shit out of Moscow. I'm telling you, I have no choice. Now, here's the line that really, I'm like, what, are you kidding me? So he says, I'm telling you, I have no choice. Now, I'm still quoting directly from Donald Trump. I'm telling you, I have no choice, the public. So he goes like, I don't believe you, he said. No way. And I said, way. That's a quote from the current president of the United States recounting how he had a face-to-face meeting with Putin, or at least he said it to his face. I don't know if that was in person or remotely, but Trump says he says it to his face, and the conversation went like this. If you go into Ukraine, I'm going to bomb the shit out of Moscow. No way. Way. That is what was supposedly said between, I guess this was when he was, this was when Trump was president the first time. Between a conversation between the president of the United States and the president of Russia. If you go into Ukraine, I'm going to bomb the shit out of you. No way. Way. is this fucking real life? First of all, as I tell you, I do not believe that this happened. Okay. Donald Trump is a liar. He is an habitual liar. He cannot help himself. This man lies about things there's no reason to even lie about. Have you met these kinds of people before? You probably have. You know, I'm of the opinion that you shouldn't lie, but if you really need to, you do so very sparingly, right? And no more than is absolutely necessary for whatever, to effectuate whatever purpose it is you're lying about. But some other people lie so compulsively that they can't help it. They can't tell the truth. They lie when there's no reason. Donald Trump is one of those people. It's pathological. People throw around that term pathological liar, but it's an accurate term, especially with someone like Donald Trump. With him, it's a pathology. There's something fucking wrong in his head. His fucking wires are crossed. He's not right. He lies about everything. So for anyone to just take at face value anything that this man says about anything is foolish in the extreme. So I do not believe that this conversation took place. And I think that one line is the giveaway. Right? You really think Putin would have responded to Trump if Trump said, if you go into Ukraine, I'm going to bomb the shit out of Moscow? You really think Putin's response would have been, no way? No, I don't. I do not believe that for a second. This is Trump talking to donors, a bunch of ass kissers who throw millions of dollars at him, you know, for the chance to be in his presence. These are people who are hanging on his every word. He could tell these people fucking anything and they would believe it. And this is him puffing himself up, you know, trying to talk like a tough guy. So I could believe absolutely. I mean, and apparently it's on tape. So yeah, Trump said this. And even if it wasn't on tape and you just told me that Trump, you know, someone says Trump said that to his donors, yeah, I could believe that. I don't believe that the conversation that he recounted actually happened. So I don't believe that. But the fact that this man is president of the United States now, and he was recounting a story meant to make himself look good and tough and strong. And in his story, that's what he says was the dialogue. If you go into Ukraine, I'm going to bomb the shit out of Moscow. And Putin said, no way. And I said, way. The fact that that man who would tell that story as if it actually happened, how the hell is this reality that we're living in? That man is president of the United States. And he said basically the same thing, almost verbatim, with respect to Xi Jinping. If I can turn the page here. Oh my. There's no reason for this friggin' paper to be stuck together. Okay, there we go. I'm with President Xi of China. I said the same thing to him. I said, you know, if you go into Taiwan, I'm going to bomb the shit out of Beijing. He thought I was crazy. He said, Beijing? You're going to bomb? I said, I have no choice. I got to bomb you. That's a quote. I have no choice. I got to bomb you. We're going to bomb Beijing. And he didn't believe me either. Trump claimed that both Putin and Xi believed him about 10%. I don't know how he was able to make that determination of what percent they believed him. But he says they each believed him about 10%. So again, how is this real? How is this our reality? You know, I mentioned simulation. Some people theorize that this actually isn't reality, that it's like the Matrix. We live in a simulation. And maybe not like, maybe we're not real. I don't know. But with that, we live in a, maybe we're completely made up by the simulation, or maybe it's a Matrix thing where we really exist, but we're plugged into the Matrix. And so our minds are in the Matrix world, but our bodies are in a goo-filled pod somewhere. I don't know. The point is, people have theorized that we live in a simulation. And sometimes you gotta wonder, because how can reality be this freaking stupid? But if we do live in a simulation, are the beings who created this simulation now trying to destroy this world that they've created, that we all live in now? Because they're putting shit into this simulation that is it's just too ridiculous. And that this is all going to come crashing down, and then at some point, the people in the simulation, you know, you and I are just gonna, like, our heads are gonna fucking explode, because this is too much. It's not believable. We can't relate to this world anymore. It's not believable. And maybe that's what they're doing. They're putting shit into this simulation to just blow it up and see how it all implodes. And so they make Donald Trump this fucking ridiculous character. And that's another reason why maybe there's something to this simulation theory, because how could anyone as ridiculous a human being as Donald Trump actually exist in real life? How can a man this fucking stupid actually exist and become president of the most powerful nation on the face of the earth? How does that happen? And aside from him being so breathtakingly stupid, he is just such an absurd person in every way. We're living in this reality where he has a cult. He has a personality cult in his service who think that this man who literally wears adult diapers and shits himself, that this man who pulls his friggin' pants up above his fucking navel, who has the most ridiculous hair you can even conceive of, this wispy, ridiculous hair that grows in no sort of pattern that I've ever even seen, right? Okay, I kind of know a thing or two about male pattern baldness and the different ways it manifests and different patterns, right? Have you ever seen pictures of this friggin' guy's head from different angles? It grows in grows over here, and then it grows in a patch. I mean, it grows in all these ridiculous places. Nobody else grows hair in the pattern this guy grows hair. And then he grows out his ridiculous hair to like 3 feet long, spins it around his friggin' head like cotton candy, holds it in place with like a gallon of Aquanet. This is why the guy wears the fucking hat all the time. You know, he's worried about the hair coming apart. That's why he won't go out in the rain. He doesn't, you know, if there's any wind going on, that friggin' hat is pulled tight over his head. He walks around with this stupid hat and his suits. He fucking wears orange makeup like a clown. This is the man, and his cult celebrates him as like the pinnacle of masculinity, this adult diaper wearing, makeup wearing, freaking cotton candy hair, fucking, how is this possible? And then on top of that, he is the dumbest person that you can ever even conceive of. And here he is, as President of the United States, saying he's telling the president of China, the president of Russia, I'm gonna bomb the shit out of your countries. I'm gonna bomb the shit out of Moscow. I'm gonna bomb the shit out of Beijing. I got to bomb you. I got to, that's a quote. I got to bomb you. It's a quote from him recounting what he said to President Xi. And then to Putin, I'm going to bomb Moscow. No way. How is this real? If any of you have any idea how to wake up from this insanity, please drop a comment, because I don't know how much more of this I can take. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.